Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name's Cliff. Welcome to Cheap Canadian Gamer, and guess what? I'm going cup crazy. That's right. The Stanley Cup playoffs are going on right now. I've got my hockey jersey here. I've got my playoff beard growing in here, and I'm ready for some playoff hockey. And speaking of playoff hockey, speaking of the NHL, I want to do a little video game review. And it's not on NHL 21. It's a game that was actually bundled in. If you bought the NHL 21 Deluxe Edition, you got NHL 94 Rewind, which is basically playing the old style 16-bit Sega Genesis version of NHL 94 with updated rosters. And we're talking the start of the 2021 NHL season. And I emphasize, the start of the 2021 NHL season. So let's drop the puck and let's review NHL 94 Rewind. And I'm going to play it on my Xbox One. Let's drop the puck. Okay, so I picked the Edmonton Oilers versus, of course, the Winnipeg Jets because the Jets swept the Oilers 4-0 in the playoffs this year. Sorry, Edmonton. Not really. Anyway, as you can see the players over here, and they show who's the random hot player and who's the random cold player for each team. As I told you before, I'm playing NHL 94 Rewind on the Xbox One, but you could also play this game on the PS4. So just letting you know here, you're not getting all 31 authentic NHL arenas like in NHL 21. Basically, you have the fictional EA Sports arena, and basically whatever team is the home team, their logo is on center ice. As I said before, you can get NHL 94 Rewind in a bundle with NHL 21, or you got it for free if you pre-ordered NHL 21. If you bought NHL 21 after the release date, you could actually purchase NHL 94 Rewind for about $10. I managed to get this on the Xbox Game Pass. Oh, Leon Draisaitl, come on! 1-0 Edmonton. Great. The graphics in this game are what you expect from a 16-bit game. This is not 60 frames per second animation we're talking here, okay? This is like playing on the old Super Nintendo or the Sega Genesis. It's fast-paced action, and it's just lots of fun. The sound in this game is pretty darn good for a 16-bit game. You can hear the cheers and the jeers from the crowd. You can hear the slap shots, the grunts as they body check each other. It sounds pretty darn good. Ooh, and there's a vicious check to Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and he's out for the period. Thank you, Josh Morrissey. One thing they left out in this game is fighting. Now, they had it in previous versions of the NHL games from EA Sports. They did bring it back for NHL 96 on the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis, but I'd love to see the players, throw the gloves down and throw a few punches at each other. There are a few modes in this game. You can just play a regular game, or you can play playoff hockey to get a chance to win the Stanley Cup, or you can play in a shootout mode. There are options in the game that you can tweak in NHL 94 Rewind. You can change the length of the periods, you can have penalties or you don't have penalties in the game, you can take out the two-line offside pass, or you can leave it in there. There are a lot of options for you to tweak your game in NHL 94 Rewind. In my opinion, I would have wanted to see an NHL 96 Rewind game, because back then on the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis, NHL 96 had everything. They had a season mode and stats. You can even trade players or even create players. But if you want that, just play NHL 21. It's all there. Scores! All right, Mark Scheifele. And as you can see, the assists were to Connor Hellebuck and Patrick Laine. And I mentioned earlier that they're only using the rosters that were at the start of the 2020-21 season. Laine was on the roster at the beginning of the season, but after one game, he got traded to Columbus. So overall, what did I think of NHL 94 Rewind? I love this game. My overall score, 9 out of 10. This is classic 16-bit hockey. Brings back those days of playing hockey on the Super Nintendo or Sega Genesis. This is just basically pick up your controller. You just basically you got a shoot button, a pass button, and basically just don't worry about rules. Don't worry about two-line passes. Don't worry about spinoramas and dekes and stuff like that. It's just no nonsense. Try to get to the net and score. This is a fun 16-bit hockey game, and I really enjoyed it. Well, that's all the time we have for Cheap Canadian Gamer. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to like. Okay? My name's Cliff. You just watched another episode of Cheap Canadian Gamer. Play on!